So today I'm going to be talking about a topic that is relevant to the course learning outcomes, which is I'm going to be talking about racism and the use of the N-word in society and how it's like kind of developed and became what it is today. So I went to a high school that was predominantly Black, and in that high school we did have a few white people that went there too. And I noticed growing up, there was a lot of use of the N-word in between the Black students, but there were students that were non-Black that would use the word in a way where they didn't understand the significance of what they're doing. So I believe that pop culture plays a huge part in this, of normalizing that word. It's popular for suburban whites to be interested in hip-hop, rap music, and other art forms that have become popular over time within the Black community. And I feel like it's kind of a thing where white people want to be included in the culture and therefore use the N-word without understanding the history of it and how the word has changed for Black people and its use within the community. I feel like with Black people, with white people, it's coming from a place of privilege. Like, they can use this word, but because some Black people associate the word in music and with their friends and stuff, but in the case of Black people using that word, it comes from a place of generational struggle, hardship, and reclaiming the word from a position of power. So taking the word that once was meant to knock them down into something that is making something that they can use and use power, have the power over it. So I wanted to also bring up how there was an incident where Kendrick Lamar brought a white fan onto the stage, and she was, he asked her to rap one of his songs or something, and she used the N-word while she was rapping it, and he stopped the show, and she took it in a way where she was just like, "Oh, you don't think I'm cool enough?" But it was because she didn't use the word, because she used the N-word, which he was not very fond of. And seeing with this type of, I researched this a little bit. So when it comes to pop culture and rap music and predominantly Black populated music, which is hip hop, rap, stuff like that, Eminem is in that type of genre, but he doesn't use that word at all. And then we also have 6ix9ine, who isn't Black but uses the word. So I think that kind of creates a tone for people who aren't Black to use that word. So I was reading an article by the American Anthropological Association, and they basically just talked about how they just talk about the relationship between whiteness and Blackness, and using this word, how it could be, seeing color could be invisible, but that's not true. I think seeing race is important, and recognizing that different races have struggles and different races come from different cultures, backgrounds, and that there's things that are meant for just one race that should be recognized and it should be honored, like using the N-word with being Black and or being white, not using it. I was also researching this article by the Washington Post, which was written by Dave Shanine and Krista Thompson, and basically they were talking about kind of people having leeways with the word. So somebody will, I guess, say a predominantly Black friend group and then that one white person in it, and then letting them use that word. I think that can also be harmful, because then they think it's okay, and when they're in the outside world and not just with their friends and they do use that word, it could be harmful for them and their safety, and not understanding the significance and the weight that that word holds coming from somebody who isn't Black. So it also states how the N-word is used over 500,000 times a day on Twitter. So it's something that people are going to see every day. They're going to read it in a post, they're going to see it, hear people saying it, hear it in music, hear it on TV. It's a huge part of society now, and yeah, so I think a solution for this problem would be educating. I think even educating in schools, like educating people to really understand the significance of the word and how it's been reclaimed by Black people is the reason why it's used now. And it's not just used lightly to be like thrown around amongst people who are non-Black. So I honestly think education is the biggest source of a solution for a problem. Like, you have to educate people. Nobody's gonna know unless you tell them. Everything's learned. So I think education is a huge part, and I think the advantage of that would be extravagant for people to really understand. Coming from a person who is Black and hearing other people say it, like I've heard people say, like friends say it to other friends who aren't Black, which is harmful. Like, it's like, whoa, don't do that. But definitely with that friend, I educated them on it. So I think now it's different. They really understand the weight of and the severity of it, using it as a non-Black person, which could be harmful for them because somebody else could probably hear them, and then you don't know how they're going to react. So the disadvantages of it, though, could also be people will literally not care and still continue to use it and tell themselves, if this person says it and it's okay, then I can do it too. But at the end of the day, you can't really please everyone and can't get the same outcome from everyone. So this overall event has left me I think I'm a very understanding person, and I'm very open to educating people and not thinking before I react. So addressing this issue in the future would just be conversation, education, really getting people to understand what is going on and what they need to do to understand the word and the severity of the word and how to use it, how not to use it if they're not Black. So yeah, thank you.